Broadway, we know that arts and culture is big business.
Yeah, it really is. But as a result of the pandemic, the industry really as a whole has been hit super hard by the pandemic. In fact, between the months of April and July 2020, the arts and culture sector lost $150 billion in sales. So joining us to talk about it this afternoon, Carson Elrod of B&R's Hero. And Carson, you testified before Congress yesterday, big day about the creative economy. So let's talk about it, because for the past year, you've been lobbying Congress for relief and recovery for the sector. So for people who don't know exactly what it is, B&R's Hero, talk about that.
Yeah, B&R's Hero and Arts Workers United, our new nonprofit, are both dedicated towards making the arts and culture economy a legislative priority commensurate with our socioeconomic value. We're really looking for relief, recovery, and representation. So since June of 2020, we've been getting into as many legislative policymakers' offices as we possibly can. And one of the biggest things that we've been asking for from the beginning, kind of in the representation bucket, is a hearing, a real hearing for Congress to contemplate the contours of the creative economy, the $919 billion that we bring to the United States economy, the 5.2 million American arts workers that work in it, and the 673,000 businesses, most of them small, that comprise the creative economy. And so that's what we did yesterday.
So Carson, talk a little bit more about what the arts and culture industry is in need of right now.
Well, yesterday's hearing was called The Power, the Peril, and the Promise. And you all noted the Brookings numbers there, 150 billion in lost sales. It's interesting to think that was just between April and June of 2020. So if we extrapolate out the more than 18 months and we're still in the middle of this pandemic, we're talking of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of losses, 2.7 million unemployed arts workers. It is imperative, because we are 4.3% of the GDP of this country, that this sector be stabilized, stimulated, and secured, because there can be no great American recovery without an arts and culture recovery.
And I don't think you realize the number of jobs we're talking about, but we're talking 5.2 million jobs across the U.S. that make up this sector. So I know some people are getting back to work. We've seen that. But what is it going to take to get everybody back into those jobs, or at least the majority of people?
I think the most important thing is that we just need to make sure that arts workers stay arts workers. This is a dynamic, talented, highly skilled workforce. And a lot of these skills are transmutable. Somebody who builds sets could become a construction worker, et cetera, et cetera. So what we don't want is we don't want to lose these people that animate this $919 billion industry, 5 times bigger than agriculture, and to have them disappear. So what needs to happen is robust, expanded unemployment until arts workers can go back to work. And also there's a host of legislative opportunities that are in front of Congress right now, up to 7 creative economy dedicated pieces of legislation that they could and should immediately enact as kind of like an arts and culture super package that wouldn't just stabilize and stimulate, but could make sure that arts workers are the backbone of a great American recovery on the other side of this.
Sure.
And Carson, let's talk a little bit more about those workers. We know not everyone is back to work. So what are some of those people who haven't made it back to work doing to survive?
Well, I mean, one of the things that is happening, as I said, is we are losing some of our valuable arts workers to other industries. Now, one of the things that haunted me is a conversation that I had with Patsy Baressa, who runs the Sims Foundation, which gives mental health services to music workers in Austin, Texas. Back in September of 2020, she was at a place where their clients were literally killing themselves. When I talked to her, in just 1 month, 4 people had taken their own lives. And so this is a valuable, this is a human infrastructure that it's vital that we hold on to. We don't want to lose them to other industries, and we don't want to lose them permanently. There's other people that I know that have left the city, that are moving back in with parents, that are trying to kind of recalibrate what they're going to do on the other side of having been an arts worker, that's not an outcome that anybody wants. So what we need is these kinds of interventions to make sure that arts workers stay arts workers and can come right back into these jobs that we all love having them in, and get the economy back up and running.
Especially in a city like this. Carson, thank you so much. We want to stay in touch with you and stay up on what you're doing in all of your efforts. I appreciate you joining us this afternoon.
Thank you. It was great to meet you both. Thank you.